Question 1 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, the tenure of an elected chairman of local government is determined by the option A, Federal Executive Council, option B, National Union of Local Government Employees, option C, National Assembly, option D, State House of Assembly. Now the correct answer to this question is option C, the National Assembly. The tenure of the elected chairman of local government is determined by the National Assembly. Since the National Assembly makes the law, they also include the tenure of the local government chairman in the law. So this makes them to determine the tenure of the local government chairman, which is fixed. So our correct answer is option C. Question 2 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, the 1976 reforms made the local government the option A, second tier of government, option B, first tier of government, option C, fourth tier of government, option D, third tier of government. Now the granting of internal autonomy to the region under the Richard Constitutions of 1946 and the subsequent sharing of responsibility between the federal and the regional government led to the 1976 local government reforms. The 1976 reform established a uniform system of local governments as regards their functions, structures, and financing nationwide. The reforms granted the local government autonomy to function as the third tier of government correctly without any interference from either the state or federal government. So the correct answer to this question is option D. The 1976 local government reforms made the local government the third tier of government of the federation. Question 3 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, decision making in the traditional Igbo political system was conferred on the basis of option A, privilege, option B, age, option C, gender, option D, status. The Igbo pre-colonial political system was described by many scholars as an acephalous political system, which can be translated as a leaderless or chiefless political system. And this term is suitable to describe the Igbo political system because it was decentralized and based on village and direct democracy, where everyone in the village has the authority to contribute in the decision making. In the pre-colonial Igbo political system, each family head in the village held the Ofo title, and all together they formed the Council of Elders. And the Council of Elders presides over important issues on the village welfare, safety, development, and so on. And among the Council of Elders, one was recognized as the most senior to other, and it was called the Okpara. In the pre-colonial Igbo political system, the Council of Elders were believed to be the earthly representative of the Igbo ancestors, and they maintained the age-long customs, the traditions, and the laws of the land. And another important institution in the Igbo political system was the age grade. The age grade consists of youngsters that belongs to the same age group. The senior age grade maintained peace and order in the village and also provided security to ward off external attack, while the junior age grade concentrated on the sanitations of the community and other necessary duties. The age grade were also involved in the administrative of the village and as well act as a check to the Council of Elders and other administrative bodies. Now from this we can see that the decision making in the traditional Igbo political system was conferred on the basis of age. So our correct answer is option B. Question 4 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, the political party that originated from Jamiyyar Mutanem Arewa was option A, UMBC, option B, BYM, option C, NEPU, option D, NPC. The correct answer to this question is option D, the Northern People Congress, and it was formed in 1951 and it started as a cultural organization called Jamiyyar or Mutanem Arewa. The party was dominated by the Hausa Fulani and Islam was the main focus it ruled the northern people between the 1951 to 1963. And the leader was the late Sir Ahmadu Bello, with Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa as a deputy. The party was able to produce the first prime minister of Nigeria. So our correct answer is option D. Question 5 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, a major consequence of colonialism on Nigeria is option A, economic dependence, option B, the attainment of equal status with Europe, option C, suppression of state structures, option D, the upliftment of its image. Now, one of the major consequences of colonialism on Nigeria is economic dependence, in the sense that so much was taken from Nigeria and this rendered Nigeria economic backward. The reason being that the raw materials that were taken from Nigeria that was supposed to be utilized here in Nigeria for the benefit and the growth of the economy of Nigeria were taken outside to Europe to feed the tertiary industries and some other industries abroad. So the finished goods were brought back to Nigeria and sold at high cost to Nigerians. And this, to some extent, rendered Nigeria economical backward, in the sense that instead of Nigerians growing, we depend on these finished goods that were imported from outside. And this made Nigerians to depend on the Europeans to boost their economy. So the correct answer to this question is option A. Question 6 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, the judiciary contributes to the development of constitution through option A, judicial review, option B, historical record, option C, bylaws, option D, Act of Parliament. One of the functions of the judiciary is that they check the excesses of both the executive and the legislature through its power of judicial review. And judicial review is the power of the judiciary to screen the activities of the other arms of government in order to determine its constitutionality. And the power to exercise judicial review is one of the most potent policy-making instruments in the hands of the federal judicial official. And that explains why, even with the most bleak legislature, it can remain rest assured that its objectable actions cannot always escape the eagle eyes of the judiciary. So the correct answer to this question is option A, judicial review. Question 7 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, the upper house of the legislature is responsible for the option A, assent to bill, option B, signing of treaties, option C, approval of declaration, option D, passage of appropriation bill. Now, the upper house is often called the Senate, and it is one of the chambers of the bicameral legislature we practice here in Nigeria. And one of their responsibility is to pass an appropriation bill. And an appropriation bill is a legislative motion bill that authorizes the government to spend money. It is a bill that sets money aside for specific spending. And before the bill can be passed, the National Assembly will first of all lay it before both chambers, and in most democracy, approval of the legislature is necessary for the government to spend money. So, the upper house of the legislature is responsible for the passage of appropriation bill. So, our correct answer is option D. Question 8 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, which of the following political parties contested the 1993 presidential election? Option A, NRC and SDP. Option B, AD and APP. Option C, UNCP and NDP. Option D, PRP and DPP. Now, the correct answer to this question is option A, NRC and SDP. The Social Democratic Party, SDP, and the National Republic Convention, NRC, were the two political parties that contested the June 12, 1993 presidential election, and Chief Moshood Abiola was the SDP's presidential candidate, and Bashir Tafal ran for the NRC. So the correct answer is option A. Question 9 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, A mode of production in which the resources of a community are pooled together for the general well-being of the people is called option A, communism, option B, communalism, option C, socialism, option D, capitalism. Now the correct answer to this question is option B, communalism. Communalism is referred to as a system of collective ownership of properties and cooperation among members of a community in the execution of development projects. In a communal community, members pursue a common collective goal, and properties like land are owned collectively and shared among members on equal basis. And this system of communalism was more prominent in the pre-colonial era. So we can see that the correct answer to this question is option B. Question 10 of JAMB 2015 government exam says, which of these international organizations was Nigeria a founding member? Option A, UNO, option B, the Commonwealth, option C, NATO, option D, ECOWAS. Now the correct answer to this question is option D, ECOWAS. The Economic Community of West Africa States, ECOWAS, was an African organization established by the Treaty of Lagos in May 1975 to promote economic trade, cooperation, and self-reliance. The organization seeks to harmonize agricultural policy and to facilitate the free movement of people, services, and capital between members. And Nigeria was a founding member of this organization. So the correct answer is option D.